Happy Saturday. I just got back from yoga, so I'm not as glam as I typically am. And for those of you who've watched my videos before, you know I'm not really that glam in general. But I wanted to come on here and talk about Jared, the mess that is Jared on Big Brother. Because he is potentially going to muck up everything. And you know what I really meant to say, but you can't say it on YouTube because YouTube is Big Brother. Actually, it's Big Brother. It's censorship all day. But Jared is showing who he really is.
Some of our used to say, maybe he was right. There's only two places a woman belongs. James don't say it. Just in the bedroom, Florida. Just get in the bedroom.
Who he really is basically no different than the Passport Bros, the Red Pill dudes, the Manosphere. He is so consumed with how many people that Blue has slept with, had sex with. He is all about that body count. He wants to know, he has to know, he has to know.
Hold up. Wait a minute. It's a 4-5. Bah, 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 bah. It's a 4-5.
And even sitting down with Jag and Izzy and I believe America, they couldn't even convince him that his way of thinking is going to be detrimental to him. Because one, he doesn't realize that people on the outside are looking in. I think Jared has forgotten that the cameras are there. He's forgotten because he's saying all this stuff that will get him, I guess, you know, in the eyes of people on Twitter, X, canceled. Which, you know, people love to cancel you for having thoughts that are different, that are not aligned with theirs. But in this case, I think Jared is an idiot.
Because when they go low, I go nasty.
Jared is, I've been observing him on the feeds, the ones that I catch, talking to Blue. And from my point of view, it seems that Blue isn't really that interested in him.
Female is an object, but I just didn't think that.
But she's just sticking around to get some intel if he has it. But he's consumed with like, oh, am I going to start a relationship with Blue? So before I start a relationship with her or catch feelings, although I think he's already caught feelings, hence why he keeps pressing the issue of body count, he has to know, what is your body count? And is it acceptable to him before he can pursue a relationship with you? Because if it's a certain number above the number that he deems acceptable, he's gonna like cut you off, Blue. But she's not divulging that, and why should she? One, it's her business and her business only to divulge it or not. And on national TV, I'm glad she didn't answer that question. Don't answer that. That's not our business. And it's not his business. And why is he so consumed? Why does he care? He cares because he's a misogynist.
A woman, and you're out there having sex with multiple guys. Okay. It should be something that you look at as, okay, either I don't care, right? And I'm just fucking multiple guys, which is cool. That's you. But I just personally feel like it should be something a little more sacred. But that's why I don't just fuck every girl.
Is a product of a patriarchal society that deems women who have slept with multiple men or many men as bad girls, as whores, as sluts. He's a slut shamer. Basically, that's all he's doing, is trying to slut shame her. And and at the end of the day, it comes down to control. He wants to be the man.
I'm a man, Gina.
But so he is trying to figure out who is he competing with. And so in his mind, he thinks that if she slept with a lot of men, then he can't be the man to her. And now that's what's strange to me, because Blue has called herself a queer. Or the competition you should be concerned with is this Big Brother competition, because you are potentially going to mess it up for yourself, but more so for your mom, because your mom clearly has a better standing in the house than you do. And speaking of that, he is going to mess it up because he went on to tell Blue that he has a secret. Now, I feel like he was trying to say that to her because he wanted to get closer to her, because of all that questioning he's done. But now you've opened up, at least if it were me, you were telling you had a secret, you're going to get my wheels turning. Like, what is this secret? What is he saying? He's talking about he can't say much about his his life, his life outside the house or where he lives, because it might, mess it up in here. So it's like, dude, I'm about to start thinking. And don't let Blue get with Cameron, because then if they get together, they're going to come up with some theories that may be right on point.
I think Felicia. I think Denzel Washington is her brother.
Although Cameron was way off with that whole Felicia being Denzel's sister. But, I mean, all they have is time to think. And I would be coming up with a bunch of theories. Because aside from those big nostrils, Jared and Sari, they kind of look alike. But, I mean, I guess people aren't as observant as I am. Like, they have the same eyes. They kind of look alike. I'm always looking at people's faces because I'm an artist. But Jared, you're going to mess it up. You are going down the wrong road here.
Down the wrong road. Wrong road.
That line of questioning, you don't realize when you get outside this house, and we're only 3 weeks into the game, what more is he going to say this season before he gets kicked to the curb? Because he's not going to last that long, and he's going to blow up the spot. But you are already, and he doesn't know this, but already on the outs with America. You definitely won't be getting America's favorite player, because you have shown a misogynistic take on women. And you're not only, I mean, the funny thing is, I originally just thought he's just whack. He's whack. And I know if a friend of mine is watching from 1996, you think everything's whack. You say everything's whack. Well, I call whack as whack is. And Jared is very whack. And the way, because their whole conversation is so juvenile. And maybe I'm just so old that these little discussions that they have sitting in that hammock are so juvenile.
And that's why I say, like, I had to start looking at females as people too, right? And I didn't mean it as in, like, I never thought of a female as an object, but I just didn't think that being disloyal to a female was the equivalent as being disloyal to a friend.
Because, like, as grown as I am, if I were Blue, I would have jumped out of the hammock so fast. With all that line of questioning he does, and then that basic ass conversation that they have, I would have been out. Anyhow, do you think Jared is going to spill the beans on himself, or will somebody else spill the beans, as in Izzy? Because I think he, by, fighting Izzy on his point, you are setting Izzy up to go off to tell your secret. Because she's a ticking time bomb to me. I just felt like that was the worst thing on earth for Izzy to know that Sari and Jared were mother and son. But anyhow, jump into the comments and tell me what you think. Do you think Jared is a misogynist or just young and inexperienced? Or is he just a misogynist and a product of this patriarchy that we live in? Anyhow, like and subscribe.